Welcome to this episode of Horrific History and Hauntings. I'm Beth.
And I'm Ramy. We're your hosts, here to talk about the stories that the history books ignore.
From horrific epidemics and ghostly hauntings to the catastrophes and tragic events that have sickened humanity.
Do we have an event in history for today?
April 2nd, 1994. Apparently, the Rwandan genocide began. It was triggered by the assassination of Rwanda's Hutu president. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
I don't know.
I've heard about that, but I don't know anything about it, which is weird because that's
Probably
the year I was born.
Yeah, that's why you don't know anything about it. It's hard to remember that year.
1 million people were brutally killed. Oh.
It's a genocide. What did you expect?
Okay.
What a way to hurl it.
Sounds great.
When I was born, the Berlin Wall fell and started the Soviet Union. So who do you think's the nicer person here? Just food for thought, listeners. Food for thought.
Also, what was on the news when Mom was in the hospital is O.J. Simpson shooting his wife.
You were on the news as well.
I was on the news as well, yes. I was a cute little baby, and apparently there was a baby boom going on at my time of birth.
Yeah. While other countries are going through a genocide.
Yeah, the news people were waiting on Mom when she was holding me coming out of the hospital, out of the elevator after giving birth.
I don't remember much about that year.
I need to look more into this since,
Well, my birthday didn't coincide with the fall of the USSR.
I guarantee you I'll look up something. There's something bad that happened.
Perhaps. I'm sure something will be around my birthday, but...
There was a deadly stampede in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, golly.
On your exact birthday.
How many people?
Known as the 1990 Mecca Tunnel Tragedy. Resulted in deaths of over 1,400 pilgrims. Well, that's not nearly as bad. I mean, that is bad. But one on my birthday.
A stampede of people?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what kind of how many people were in the line of this stampede and what was stampede?
Never heard of that one.
That happens in China and Japan, like ever so often, don't it? Like a lot of Asian countries have stampedes. Concerts and things go terribly wrong sometimes. I mean, that's been a few years since I heard about one, but I remember them happening.
I think one happened.
Was it Gangnam Style? Psy had one happen once, or
I don't know.
Maybe one of these Japanese pop star. I can't recall all of them. It's kind of like every year back before Amazon showed up, you would have the stampedes in every mall and Walmart in America for Black Friday.
Yeah, and now nobody's going out for Black Friday.
Amazon Prime Day is better than Black Friday now.
Yeah.
That's not an ad for Amazon. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Let's see. Let me find which state we are on.
We're in Virginia. We're in Virginia. That's where we're at.
Not where we're at, but in...
You haven't even told us what we're talking about.
Oh, this is a Haunting and Legends Across America.
There's other episodes about other states in the past.
Montana. We're on Montana.
Yeah, scroll down the lists or up the list depending on how your stuff is organized, and you'll find our other episodes about this. Or some people just want to find the state they're in.
They're in alphabetical order.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So,
how wild would it be if we didn't do it that way?
Well,
imagine trying to keep track of the states we covered.
That's the problem. Yeah. I actually had to look up a list of the states because...
I haven't been in school long enough to remember them all.
Yeah, well...
I don't know if many adults
even
that can.
in school, I couldn't remember them all.
Yeah.
In Montana, there is a phantom hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake.
That's a creepy name.
We also have other ghostly hitchhikers, I think is what the episode is called, that only has a couple of ghostly hitchhikers. But if you like that kind of thing, you can go back and listen to that one.
Yeah.
It's located in Cascade County near the city of Great Falls.
A lot of good names.
Yeah. It takes place off of Highway 87.
That's not a great one.
No, that was normal. Black Horse Lake is usually dry, but it fills up in the spring and early summer. This is where many say the most aggressive ghost hitchhiker in the United States resides.
How do we miss this one?
I don't know. Because when I was going to do the other episode about ghostly hitchhikers, I was only going to do it on one, and then I realized it wasn't that long, so I chose another one to go along with it.
Okay.
The story goes that when someone is driving along the quiet highway toward Fort Benton, usually at night, a Native American man wearing all denim will be spotted, and he seems to be hitchhiking on the roadside. But as the car approaches, he unexpectedly rolls over the hood and across the windshield as if he's been struck by the vehicle.
That would alarm me quite a bit.
Yeah. When the driver stops to check on the man, the phantom hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake has already vanished without a trace and leaves no sign of damage on the vehicle.
Uh-huh.
It's speculated that this is the spirit of a Native American man who died after being hit by a car on this highway many years ago, but there's no concrete evidence to verify that such an incident happened. Do you remember that ghostly hitchhiker episode?
Yeah, barely, but don't ask me to name anybody.
Well, I don't remember the name, but it was not the woman hitchhiker. I think her name was Mary, Resurrection Mary. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one
Yeah,
from Chicago.
It wasn't her. It was the other one I talked about, the redheaded man. And he would laugh in people's radios and cars would break down and he would show up in the back seat
Yeah.
and laugh and smirk at people. I feel like that one's a little more alarming. Like, I understand why this one would be alarming, but they show up in my car and they start taking over my radio. We got problems.
I don't even use the radio. I use earbuds. I don't even know if it's legal, but I do because a lot of our vehicles are just loud or older and have gaps in places and make
I feel
noise.
like it probably should be illegal if it's not, but also deaf people are allowed to drive, so.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the harm? I really don't know the harm. I'm sorry. Don't take my advice. That's not advice. Nebraska, Centennial Hall. It's located in a small town called Valentine.
That's cute.
It was built in 1897 and is the oldest standing school in Nebraska. The local legend is that in 1944, a girl attending the school was murdered. Allegedly, her friend, which I wouldn't consider a friend, poisoned her clarinet reed.
What?
It's a great friend.
That's the wildest
I think you need
story.
a new word besides friend.
Nemesis?
Yeah.
Murderer?
Frenemy?
Yeah.
When the girl put the clarinet in her mouth to play, she got poisoned and died.
Haha. Arsenic.
Yeah. Before the school was transformed into a museum, teachers would often claim to witness a ghostly apparition and experience a sense of dread or discomfort. Even now, visitors report hearing the faint sound of music coming from the music hall. The instruments have been removed long ago.
I would have given up on playing the clarinet after dying of clarinetting.
Well, yeah. Maybe she switched to piano or something, where you don't have to put things to your mouth.
I like the piano. I'm fine with the clarinet, but after someone killed me, I probably wouldn't be too fond of it.
Also, rocking chairs in the museum will mysteriously sway back and forth, even when no one is nearby.
Ah, that sounds like a cool place, even if just the town name is cool.
Numerous paranormal investigators have conducted ghost hunts in the building. They've captured voices on digital recorders, witnessed large dark shadow figures, experienced flashlights turning on and off upon requests, and heard knocking sounds. They used a ghost box through which their names were spoken, directing them to specific rooms for communication. And also there was a photo taken showing what appears to be an apparition in the window.
All because of one girl who got poisoned? She's quite the active individual.
Yes. And I tried to look up other things that could have possibly happened there to cause things like this, but it was just the one.
Huh.
Yeah, just that one. There was also orbs. I didn't put that in my notes, but
Moaning Myrtle, that's what I'm thinking of. She was quite active as a ghost as well.
Yeah.
Orbs. We don't talk about orbs here. We can just go into a whole episode about bugs and dust if you want to talk about orbs.
Then you travel on to Nevada and there's a creepy clown motel.
Welcome to Gacyland.
It's located in an old mining town called Tonopah.
I like these Midwestern, Western style town names. Some of them are very, very Western and some of them are very, very native.
Yeah. It was once a bustling mining town, but like many others, it had its up and downs in mining. Now the small town has only about 1,200 residents.
Is it a booming tourist industry now?
Probably. I don't see, from what I understand, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know how it stays in business other than that. And also from what I understand, it's kind of the only thing there for a long distance on a big stretch of desert.
Of course the motel's going to be popular. I'd like to do a road trip through places like it if I ever got a reliable enough vehicle and the money to do it.
Yeah. The Tonopah Cemetery started in 1901 and saw its first burial with John Randall Weeks.
Another one of those cool names.
It was active until 1911 when it became too small for all the bodies. Around 300 people, including original residents of Tonopah, Nevada, are buried there. Many of them died from the Tonopah Plague in 1902, which was a type of severe pneumonia. The disease mostly affected adult men due to poor hygiene conditions.
The ladies took baths. I'm not familiar with how pneumonia works. So,
I don't know. Well,
I was expecting influenza.
I don't know, but I think pneumonia normally is like building up of fluids in the lungs. So it's pretty much you have another illness
that causes that.
That causes pneumonia.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was like a secondary condition. But I don't
know. Does Sawbones have one of those episodes?
I don't know.
We should email and be like, yep, teach us about pneumonia if they don't. The eerie tales of Tonopah didn't originate solely from its unsettling cemetery. And if you look up pictures of this cemetery, it kind of is an unsettling thing. It's wooden, not even, well, they're not stones, obviously. It's wooden markers for some of them, just a whole bunch of them.
Telling you there's people there, but God knows who.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody would remember them anyway at this point, probably.
Probably. The so-called curse of Tonopah began with the tragic Tonopah Belmont mine fire.
Belmont, like the vampire hunters in Castlevania.
I guess.
Now we know what happened to this town.
And also, I think this was a silver mine, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, yes, the vampires in Castlevania don't like silver.
Oh, I didn't even think about that when it came to that comment, but no, I'm just saying in general, I think it was a silver mine.
Huh.
On February 23rd, 1911, this fire claimed the lives of 17 miners.
That's a sad day.
The mine had 2 shafts, one going up and the other going down, which played a significant role in this event.
That sounds like one shaft, just depending on the direction you're going.
Yeah. But
I
also,
guess if it's
wouldn't
going into a hill, you can split them.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, how do you do that?
Yeah. The fire was spotted around 5:50 in the morning, and after an hour of searching, they found timber burning near the bottom of the shaft. A lit candle was believed to have started it.
That's the only way to see back then.
Yeah, back then, that's your only option. Initially, the superintendent told everyone to ignore it and continue working since it was a different area, not like fire spreads. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You're just the help. We don't care.
Yeah. In the World Trade Centers, that happened too. They said, it's the other tower. You all could stay in your position. And shortly after, another airplane hit, and they both were in that situation.
Yeah.
I would have lost my job and walked out.
Yep.
I don't take no chances.
Yep, that's pretty much, it says, despite objections from many of the miners, the fear of losing their jobs forced them to descend into the mines that day. And probably at that time, that was probably the only good job they had in the town, because that's why the town was made.
Yeah.
So
either move or go down to that mine.
Yeah. And I'm sure moving at that time was not pleasant.
You ever heard of the Oregon Trail?
As the fire rapidly spread, the superintendent ordered everyone out of the mines except for those battling the flames.
Which happens to be everybody now. Back down there.
Many of the miners, which were scattered and untrained, and some of them disobeyed orders, led to some being trapped by the smoke and fire.
Oh, are we ever going to cover that town that's on fire perpetually underground? Silent Hill?
It's on my list.
Okay.
But I haven't really gotten there.
Isn't it in West Virginia?
Maybe.
Or do they just film that movie in West Virginia? I don't remember.
I don't know.
There's a lot of towns that have been abandoned because of fire or natural disasters or poison.
Mines.
Mm-hmm.
Because of mines.
Now, I suspect Salvo will be on that list eventually.
Oh, yeah. Soon enough. The mine's layout worsened the situation as air currents fueled the blaze faster than the miners could flee. 14 of the men who perished in the tragedy are now laid to rest at Tonopah Cemetery.
How did the bodies survive the fire? You said remains, so I assume the bodies are there.
Yeah, maybe it was just bones. I don't know.
I don't know enough about fires and mines. It's a silver mine, not a coal mine, so I guess it didn't burn like a coal mine would.
Yeah, that's why I also felt it was important to mention.
Yeah, because coal mine will burn, and then there would be no getting anything out of there. It would stay burning.
But clearly that was not the point of this particular thing. Right beside the Tonopah Cemetery is the Clown Motel.
I didn't forgot about that.
Yeah. I figured it was nice to have a little bit of the history in there because, horrific history and haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to have a little bit of that. But yes, beside this creepy cemetery is a creepy clown motel.
Now we know what the other occupation was in town.
It's filled with a crap load of circus clown figurines, pictures, and other various clown collectibles. The motel was thought of after the father's death in a mine fire and his burial in the cemetery.
It's all a clown? What?
He collected clowns.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was just like,
he was
this is all
enthusiastic
a big farce.
Clown collector.
That's cool. I know people
Which
who
I
do stuff
actually
like
did not realize that clowns were that big of a thing back then. So I even searched for clowns.
I mean, yeah.
Back in the 1901, I think is what I searched.
Things like Pennywise and...
Yeah, and then I remembered Pennywise. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I seen black and white photos of Pennywise.
Yeah, so they must have existed.
Traveling circuses.
Yeah.
I think that was the era of things like that, wasn't it? Or maybe that was the 50s and 40s.
I don't know. Leroy and Leanna David opened the motel to stay close to their father, who is in the cemetery next to it. And he had a collection of over 150 clowns, which they proudly displayed in the reception area.
Cool. It sounds like a cool place to visit.
Yeah. From what I gathered about this creepy clown motel, it seems that to be the only place, like I said, that is
of interest.
Well, yeah, but in general, the way that it sounded is it's about the only thing on this large stretch of desert that's there. Besides the cemetery, I guess.
It's either a clown motel or nothing.
Yeah.
You sleep in the car.
The moment you enter the motel, you're met with the hundreds of clowns in various sizes, and the collection has actually now grown to over 3,000. This one's very obvious, like they have a big clown sign. The doors are these vibrant, bright clown colors.
It's the kind of thing you expect
They
off
even
Route
have
66.
one of the rooms dedicated to scary clowns.
That's the one everybody wants to stay in.
Yeah. But according to legend, the clown statues are believed to harbor the ghosts of miners. These spirits supposedly possess the dolls, causing them to animate.
That's a terrible way to be reborn.
Yeah. Witnesses have reported seeing apparitions moving between the graveyard, and eerie voices have been heard uttering phrases like, "We mined," and "We died that day." Yeah, another little interesting fact that I found along the way while looking into this, in the past, Pueblo Native Americans wore costumes that some say resemble clowns. I didn't see pictures of it. I just found the information in words, so I don't know. But it's what is believed to allow them to express different aspects of themselves and invite spirits to inhabit them. Well, I don't know if it's a fact. I literally only just happened to come across it when I was going into this, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Some of the strange experiences at the Clown Motel include the motel's owner claims to have heard footsteps and knocking sounds coming from unoccupied rooms.
Creepy.
Mm-hmm. Witnesses have reported seeing an apparition of a man leaving the cemetery and wandering around the property at day and night. A previous owner tried to communicate with this man or this figure, but it vanished suddenly.
I guess you're in the middle of nowhere. You're staying in the clown motel.
Yeah. There's also been sightings of clowns leaving the cemetery.
That seems unlikely. I guess if it's the reborn miners, so.
Yeah. You also have to wonder if, people haven't heard of this and are dressing up like clowns and just wandering around the cemetery.
Why not? Be fun.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do in town.
Yeah.
I might be completely wrong. There might be tons to do in this town. This might be the only thing that sticks out, though.
The manager claims that one of the clowns is known to change positions during the night, and staff often discover it in a different pose come the next morning.
Moonwalking.
Lights turn on and off by themselves.
Yours do that.
Yeah, they do. But I don't have any clown stuff.
No.
Can't blame the clown. How about we blame the idiots that didn't wire things correctly when they were wiring the house? And, my insulation was pulled out, partially burnt, because they're imbeciles that didn't hire a professional. Rant over. In room 108, guests have experienced disembodied voices, objects being moved, and items disappearing. Some go steal my shit while I'm at a creepy motel.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. I'm going to be pissed.
What if they'd taken your phone? Oof.
They take my phone. You take my toothbrush. I'm going to be upset.
I could replace the
My
toothbrush.
soap.
Yeah.
I wonder if it comes with complimentary soap and shampoo in case something like that happens.
I prefer places that do, so I don't have to pack it.
Yeah. Oh, the one that me and Joey stayed at in North Carolina, they gave us Dove products.
Ooh.
Yeah, little tiny Dove bars of soap and Dove shampoo and Dove conditioner. Yeah.
I've been in places that have like essential oils and stuff, and I'm thinking,
These occurrences are attributed to a spirit known as the Trickster, who is believed to emerge from the cemetery and take on the appearance of a clown to play pranks on motel visitors.
see, that's a fine way to spend your afterlife.
Yeah, especially in the middle of nowhere.
You got to do it somehow.
Some guests have claimed to wake up in a cold sweat and find a nearly 7-foot tall clown standing at the foot of their bed.
That would alarm me quite a bit.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, goodbye.
I don't even care if it's clown or not at this point. Yeah, that's even more creepy, but 7-foot tall anything at the end of my bed, I gotta go.
I mean, it'd be less alarming if it was like a 7-foot tall Christmas tree. Like it ran in the middle of summer. There's a lot of things I wouldn't be terribly uncomfortable with. I'm not afraid of clowns, but that's kind of a weird thing to find standing over your bed.
Yeah. Others have simply been so unsettled that they refuse to return to retrieve their belongings after spending a night at the motel, which you may not have any belongings when you come back because apparently one of them's taking your stuff.
I don't know. How much are you going to pay them to ship it to you?
But that's the creepy clown motel in Nevada.
That's not so bad. I would stay
And I guess
there.
creepy cemetery also.
Creepy cemetery. Mine tragedy. We covered a lot in that one.
Yeah, that was a whole lot.
Travel tips.
Yeah. New Hampshire is next. Hanover Inn or Hanover Inn?
I would say Hanover.
Hanover. Okay, we'll go with that one. It's obviously located in Hanover, near the Dartmouth College. Dartmouth College?
Dartmouth?
Yeah, Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
Well, it's...
Oh, no.
Yeah. In 1934, a group of college students were having fun at the Alpha Theta fraternity house.
Oh, no, not a fraternity.
Yeah.
I'm cool with fraternities. I just, I don't know. The ones you always hear about are the ones of toxic environments.
Yeah.
So
I think we've had a whole rant about fraternities. And
didn't one get their
one of the
friends killed by a statue?
Oh, yeah, that one too. I forgot about Black Aggie statue.
Yeah, they let their friend's neck get snapped or something.
Yeah, we also had a whole rant about it on one of the Alphabet of Death episodes because you're not...
Alcoholism.
Yeah, you're no friend of mine if you're trying to get me to do this crap and die.
It's an issue, but only certain ones are like that.
Yeah.
I understand. I've never known people in them personally, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. Late in the night, while asleep in the attic, a carbon monoxide accident occurred, and it claimed the lives of all 9 students.
So it's a maintenance issue, not a party issue.
Yeah, this one was maintenance.
Upstanding citizens taken down by maintenance.
Oh.
Like your house.
It's okay. It's fine. It's not. I'm just going to keep pretending, I guess.
Get a shirt. Carry on. Use candles.
No. We use the night buddy.
There we go.
The building was later demolished and a new one was constructed in its spot. Today, many students and even some of the guests at local hotels report encountering the ghosts of those who perished in the tragic incident. So the hotels are also said to be haunted because of this.
Why don't we hear about haunted campsites? Cause
there is the Brady Pond one. There's a campsite that is supposed to be haunted near there as well.
Okay. I can't remember how many people, but it's numerous people a year during deer season in certain counties near us where there's a lot of campsites and public land to hunt on.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous people die from gas leaking in their campers.
I never thought about that.
And I don't remember hearing any ghost stories about it. It's more like you never spoke of it. When we were going, we never heard, there was no like, make sure your gas is working right and stuff like that. It might have changed over the years, but I remember when about every year there was someone who got taken out by their gas leaking.
Huh. But no, I haven't heard of that. I'm sure that's something we can search into. But yeah, there's one around that area. The frat house being torn down may explain why the ghosts of the college have been said to have been spotted elsewhere, including at the Hanover Inn.
I don't know why this sounds, maybe it's because of the college, but why this sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I think there's other things about this college, but in addition to encountering the ghostly old college students, some people occasionally share stories of encountering the ghost of Theodore. I don't know how to say his last name, but you'll know who he is. Giesel or Giesel. We're going to call him Dr. Seuss because that's who he is.
I never knew that he came from here.
Yeah, he was apparently a member of the class of 1925. Wow. And he created the pen name Dr. Seuss, which I'm going to use because, I mean, who doesn't know him as Dr. Seuss? But he created the pen name to contribute to the school's humor magazine. So,
he stuck with that and it done well for him.
Mm-hmm. So apparently his spirits, according to some people, lingering around there.
Huh.
Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to
Dr. Seuss.
The Cat in the Hat or something like that.
What's it called? It'd be like Slender Man or the Babadook kind of, or the Twisted Man. The
Crooked Man.
Crooked Man.
Yeah.
Twisted Man. It's the one that drank too many twisted teas.
In New Jersey, they have the Jersey Devil.
Oh, I've heard of this. I heard of this before I ever seen it on What We Do in the Shadows, but their version was the best.
Never seen that.
What We Do in the Shadows, it's those vampires.
Yes, I mean, I've seen a couple of the episodes that you showed me, but I don't think I've seen the Jersey Devil one.
The Jersey Devil, they're in a cabin with their human friend, and the Jersey Devil shows up. It's funny.
Oh.
He's naked.
It was designated in 1938 as the country's only state demon.
What is a Virginia's, I wonder?
Well, no other state has a state demon.
Well, that didn't catch on, did it?
That's why it's the country's only state demon.
Well, West Virginia would probably classify Mothman as one.
We're not going to count Mothman as a demon.
It's the only thing they got that I could think of as demon-like.
It's not demon-like. It warns people about tragedy.
Okay, but I don't know how bad the Jersey Devil's ever been either.
Then again, I'm going to assume that not all demons are equal and not all demons are evil. So there's
I watched
also
so many
that
animes
theory.
too many good demon lords out there in anime to think of it all as evil now. Like every other anime series is about a demon lord, and they're pretty cool.
For over 250 years, this mysterious creature has been said to roam the marshes of southern New Jersey. I don't think of marshes when I thought New Jersey, but then I honestly, not trying to be mean, I don't really think about New Jersey that much.
I watch MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee's YouTube channel, about tech stuff, and he is based out of New Jersey, so I guess that's what I hear most about New Jersey. But that's all. That's the only time I hear about New Jersey.
It comes out from time to time to cause chaos in the towns and cities.
Which is kind of odd. I think the only city incident we've heard about was the Chicago Mothman.
Mm-hmm. The most popular story about the origin of the Jersey Devil is that a woman named Miss Leeds was a resident of Estiville. She was upset when she found out she was expecting her 13th child. So
I would be too.
I was going to say, I don't blame her for being upset. I would have been upset after hearing about the third child. And then once they started to reach in the double digits, I'm going to be beyond pissed.
Yeah.
We're going to have some major conversations here.
Yeah. Keep your hands to yourself, sir.
Yeah. In frustration, she exclaimed, "Let it be the devil."
Well, that seems a bit extreme. Not like what you ended up with.
I don't know why you would say that either.
I mean, at 13, you might as well start trading them in for favors. So
oh,
you got a few to spare. Get yourself a new car, monthly income perhaps.
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly what year this was, but I believe it was a year where you do have quite a few of children because, they die off easily at that time. But 13?
She's like, I keep preparing for the worst and it never happens. Just in case, one more.
Yeah. According to the tale, the child was born during a violent storm and came out looking like a normal, healthy human baby.
Aww.
But after being placed in Miss Leeds' arms, the baby began to transform into this devil-like creature. Its body transformed into a long serpent-like shape. Its hooves...
Its tootsies became hooves.
Yes, its feet became hooves. Its face was transformed into a bony horse-like head.
That's a goat.
And then bat wings emerged from its shoulder blades. And then it stood and grew taller than a full-grown man. Then a forked tail appeared, because, you have to have that forked tail, which it began to thrash around the room. It began to thrash people in the room with it. It's forked tail that it just grew. Slap, slap, everybody.
This is an excellent story compared to a lot of the others.
I wonder if it did like a little special spin, like in a video game.
A pirouette. And
then it was said to let out a screech, spread its wings, and flew out the window into a nearby swamp.
I just keep thinking of Laszlo. It's the Jersey Devil!
Some versions of the story say that his first meal was made up of small sleeping children. Another variation states that the devil baby was a punishment for a woman who had fallen in love with a British soldier during the Revolution.
That one's a little bit more heinous.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's less heinous than a woman cursing her 13 baby.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Either way, it's bad, I guess.
Sounds very judgmental of the Revolutionary War woman's people. Of course, that was a big...
Exactly.
We wouldn't have had a war if it
like
wasn't a time to be like that, I guess. There's some wacky tragedy stories about the Revolution and Civil War.
It's war,
yeah.
So that's bound to happen. Countless stories have circulated describing the devil, raiding chicken coops and farms, destroying crops, killing animals, pretty much anything and everything bad or negative that just happens to be blamed on the Jersey Devil.
They always make a great scapegoat.
Goat. Its presence has been seen and felt by many in at least 50 different towns when he emerges from his natural den in the Pinelands.
That's what I was associated with in Pinelands.
People would form groups to apprehend this Jersey Devil, but all failed. At one point, as much as $100,000 was offered for the capture of it, dead or alive.
Did anybody find it?
Anybody find it? Are you kidding me? There was one story that said someone shot a cannonball at the Jersey Devil, and everyone there at the time claimed to have seen the cannonball hit the creature and go straight through it. However, they also claimed that the Jersey Devil just kept on flying, as if being shot with a cannonball had no effect.
Well, it's probably not easy to shoot the flying devil with a cannon.
Yeah. By the end of the 19th century, it started popping up in news reports.
because it's fun.
Yeah, of course. In the beginning of the 20th century, the Jersey Devil began gaining national attention due to numerous sightings reported in about 30 different towns.
And it's one of the most scarier looking, or literally devilish looking creatures in the whole
Okay.
cryptid world.
I guess it would be creepy looking. But back to the thrashing of the tail. Remember when I would play D&D?
You used your tail to trip folks, didn't you?
I would always use my tail.
Yeah. I forgot about
I
that.
just randomly thought of that. January 1909, thousands of people across southern New Jersey claimed to have witnessed the Jersey Devil, along with what they claimed were the devil's tracks left by the creature. Some described it as a large one-legged bird during these reports.
It's a crane.
And some said it looked like a kangaroo. People began to panic, and even schools began to close over this.
Are you kidding?
Imagine seeing that on the news. You know how we used to wake up and have to look at the news and seeing it scroll across that it's closed because there's a Jersey Devil warning or a Jersey Devil watch.
They're really good about letting you know when school's closed now. My mom hasn't been in college in 4 or 5 years, and they still call her when there's a school day, a snow day.
Oh, they would wake me up early in the morning. I ain't in college anymore. I don't give a fuck.
She's tried, but Harold will tell her every time when he answers the phone. He says, school called and said you don't have any today.
Oh, well, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
For the people that are still going.
Can you imagine having that one? How many extra numbers do they have to call that they don't need? I wonder.
I don't know.
That is something to think about.
Did she try telling them?
Yes, multiple times.
Oh, okay.
It's just time to get rid of that number.
Mm.
But no, I can't imagine waking up and seeing the Jersey Devil causing my school to close.
No. I imagine how happy the kids were, though.
Oh, yeah. The Jersey Devil, yay. You got a bunch of Satan worshipers.
There's a test tomorrow.
There's a test tomorrow. Yay, the devil got us out of it.
Oh.
I guess the only other thing noteworthy would be the news talking about the Mothman, seeing as if the lore is to be believed, there is going to be a tragedy soon.
Exactly. To be fair, I would definitely understand why they would close schools for that one.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
You're going to hate yourself if it don't, and something terrible happens.
No, you're going to hate yourself more if you send them to school and something terrible happens.
If you don't close school and something terrible happens.
Okay, gotcha. Patrolman Sackville of the Bristol Police responded to reports of dogs barking in a neighborhood and unexpectedly encountered the Jersey Devil.
I had no idea there was a Bristol in Jersey.
Me neither.
I say that because we have one near us.
Yeah.
And there's one in the UK. So I believe the UK one's the original.
Obviously.
Yeah. They have all this extended family. They sent us a bunch of telephone poles.
I kind of love those telephone
poles.
Telephone booths.
Yeah, not Bristol.
That was Abingdon.
Yeah, that was Abingdon. Abingdon got a bunch of telephone booths. We used them to charge phones and to
there's little tablets that
have
maps and things you can do around the town, just randomly around town. But it's so pretty, and I've actually, while I was walking down the street, and because sometimes, me and a friend used to just want to walk down the street, we would park the car and just walk down Abingdon, look at the pretty buildings, the historical buildings, go to the park, things like that. And our phones were about to die. Also, when Pokemon Go is a thing.
It's still a thing.
But, well, yeah, it is. But I mean, it really helps when you're walking along and you need to charge your phone.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of phone chargers in there too.
I've never been in one.
You need to go in one just once.
No.
Just once.
Okay.
I mean,
I think it's funny
obviously you live here. You know what's going on, but still.
I think it's funny they made telephone boxes into telephone chargers.
Yeah.
Apparently they're very hard to ship because they're so heavy.
They look it. This officer described the Jersey Devil as winged and hopping like a bird, yet it had other peculiar animal features. Very descriptive. He also claimed to approach the creature, which caused it to flee while making a sound that indicated it was frightened.
Okay, so it's harmless. You all are picking on this poor mutant baby.
Yeah. One early morning, a couple was awakened by weird sounds, and they looked out their window and found the Jersey Devil frolicking on the roof of their shed.
Oh, how cute.
They informed the news reporters that the creature stood approximately 3.5 feet tall. That's not a grown man for the original story, but okay.
Not your average man.
Mm-hmm.
There are grown people who are that tall.
Oh, well, I didn't think about that, but yeah. It had a head that resembled that of a dog, but a face that looked like a horse.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how that works, but okay. And that it had a long neck and wings spanning about 2 feet in length.
Well, it ain't going to fly nowhere.
Mm.
Not without magical propulsion.
Mm-mm. Its hind legs looked like those of a crane, and attached were what looked like a horse's hooves.
It's a devil. Stereotypical devil.
Yeah. The man claimed he watched it for about 10 minutes and that he opened the window and said, "Shoo!" to which it flew away after barking at him.
Oh, you just shoo it away.
Yeah.
I wish it was that easy to get rid of problems.
Yeah. Shoo. Maybe he said it more like shoo shoo or shoo.
Big on demon.
Not like, but I was just thinking when I read it, shoo. At one point in time, a Philadelphia animal trainer informed reporters that his vampire bat had escaped, and that's what he believed explained the surge in these sightings.
Oh, the vampire bat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be it. It's kind of weird.
How do you train a vampire bat?
I don't know.
That's a genuine question. Like, if you have a vampire bat, how do you train a vampire bat?
I wouldn't know how.
Norman Jeffrey from New York attempted a hoax by purchasing a small kangaroo, and he was intending to pass it off as the Jersey Devil.
That's insane.
He painted the poor baby kangaroo in green stripes, but it licked it off the paint. And then he tried to attach some made wings, which the kangaroo destroyed. So he made a second set of wings from rabbit fur and bronze, which seemed to have succeeded.
He likes the natural stuff.
Yeah. He wrapped the kangaroo in nets and hired local teens to pose as farmers with pitchforks surrounding the frightened poor animal that was trapped in a cage. And this person, he really should have been arrested because that's animal abuse.
Yeah.
People could pay to see the creature, but they were only allowed one at a time, and they were only allowed a brief, like, few second glimpse before a curtain concealed it once again.
Before the paint got licked off.
Yeah. So, first of all, I don't like pranks. I don't like hoaxes to begin with, but that's animal abuse. Lock him up.
I don't much care for animal-related pranks either.
Mm-hmm. In 1938, the Jersey Devil was assigned the state demon of New Jersey, which I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I have about the Jersey Devil.
Well, that was entertaining enough. I didn't know the full origin stories of the devil. I just knew it's...
it thrashing its tail around everybody, including its mother.
I didn't even remember that part.
Yeah.
I just remember like the sightings in the woods and stuff. I didn't hear about the middle of town stuff sometimes. There'll be more. We'll have to cover more states in the future. So there you go. That is all right.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I was just saying and you just didn't say anything else.
No. When I said all, I guess I do say that.
Yeah.
So I should have mentioned there's no more states for today.
The Jersey Devil was quite detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough. Detailed, dual-tailed. I do enjoy the different states and different things. The Clown Motel is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Considering it has very little to do with the clown except for the motel, the whole town. What was it called?
Tonopah?
Okay. Then there was a cool town named Valentine where a girl got poisoned by a musical instrument.
Yeah, a pretty good amount of interesting names in this episode.
Some good ones. If you like what you heard here, we're part of the Gruesome Gaming Group podcast network. They have a link in the description that will take you to all of our other socials and home website and everything. The first big link in the link tree will be our website. It'll show you all our other podcasts like Gruesome Gaming Group, Leveling Duo. It's a podcast we do every so often about video games we play and stuff we enjoy whenever we play a new one. So they're not every week. They're just whenever we get a new game we like. We have Brother Knows Quest, the podcast where I talk about tabletop role-playing games and tell my sister a different one each week. And she'll tell me what she thinks about it in the end. We have our socials, TikTok for now, as long as it lasts, X, and maybe Threads, stuff like that. You can reach out to us there. Also, there'll be an email below the Linktree link, and you can reach out to those emails, or that email, and no, that's 2 emails. You can reach out to those emails to get a hold of us. Whichever one you want to use will work. We put them both there because one's for this podcast and one's for the whole network, but they'll go to the same people. Also, there'll be an option to send a tip or a donation. We appreciate it if you do that. If you want to leave a review, feel free to on whatever podcast or YouTube, however you want to do it. We are on all these things. You can find our stuff on YouTube if you would rather listen that way. We're still collecting reviews from other sites. As soon as we get enough to talk about in one long episode about reviews, we'll do that. Thank you for the positive ones we got so far. That's been nice. We like to see them. Anyway, thank you for listening. I've been Rami.
And I'm Beth.
And this has been HH&H. Bye-bye.